Mindshifters, hello. I have owed you guys this review for a while. This will probably be like part one of my thoughts in of the Dr. Eric Berg's supplements. So I think I did a video about just like my keto supplements overall, and I said I would do a separate video. So let's get into it. So what I'm going to do, I did a system, like I just cut up some like index cards, and I'm doing like 5 out of 5 stars, or five stars are the most stars you could get. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna do. I have my phone here. I'm learning how to like multitask, guys. You all know I'm not good at the technology. Trying, but let's just look at the definition of supplements from News and Health. They define like, or what is the use of supplements? Supplements are available without prescription and usually come in pill, powder, or liquid form. Common supplements include vitamins, minerals, and herbal products, also known as botanicals. People take these supplements to make sure they get enough essential nutrients and to maintain or improve their health. So that's kind of the reason that I take supplements. I take supplements because I know that I'm probably not getting all of the nutrients that I need for a daily intake, as well as I believe that I'm deficient, or I was deficient in certain nutrients. So what started me on looking online about nutrition and things like that was, I told you guys, like I had like these major issues with my face. And that's a whole another video I could do separately. Now, to me, the root cause was that I was unhealthy. And it just, and stress, didn't help. And it was just a lot of issues about a little over 2 years ago. And so I happened upon Dr. Jason Fung, The Obesity Code. I read that, and then I discovered Dr. Eric Berg, and I've just been hooked on keto and intermittent fasting ever since. So I said, let me try some of his products. So I am going to start off with, maybe I'll start off with the ones that I didn't rank too high. There's another one missing too. So the ones I didn't rank too high, which that kind of got a 1, is this electrolyte powder. And about a year ago or 2 years ago or 18 months ago, I was also going to this HIIT gym, which is high intensity training. And so I didn't want to drink Gatorade or Powerade. So I thought I'd try his electrolyte powder. So this flavor, this is one I bought recently, and I just didn't like it. It tasted like the, back in the day, they used to have like this powder mix, like tangerine. It used to be in this yellow, or I don't know. It just tasted really like artificial orange flavor. I didn't like it. But it served a purpose. Like I kind of needed some electrolytes after I finished working out, but I didn't like this one at all. So this was rated, to me, the lowest, like 1. I made sure, that's a whole nother thing we're going to address about me trying to finish things that I buy. Sometimes you just kind of have to, cut your losses. It's a sunk cost. You've already purchased it. But this is a 1. So that's on the 1. This keto fasting tea, I did not like either. And, I really did not like it. And I think it's a lot of good stuff in there. I'm going to try to use this somehow. I don't know. I may have to play around with like some sort of face mask or hair mask, or I didn't like the taste. It was really bland to me, and I tried it. It didn't really help with, like kind of helping me, push my fast time, back during the day. And I tried to say, I tried it for like about a week, I think. And I just couldn't do it. It has some good things in it. Organic green tea, Hoodia, Gardonia, Garcinia, Garbagodium powder, ginseng root powder, organic cinnamon bark, organic ginger root. So really good things. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think I didn't really care for this because I still do my kind of like my morning detox teas, and I just got so acclimated to that taste that, this was too bland for me. So, and I tried to add the same things that I normally add, and for whatever reason, it just didn't work for me. So this was like kind of like, So that was number one. Those are like rated 1 out of 5. Moving on, I have a 2 here because I kind of was going back and forth between this mitochondria energy. So I'm going to keep it as a 3. I'm on the second bottle of this because I didn't really see a boost in energy. So there are a lot of things that kind of happened the last almost a year. I started Dave Ramsey. So I'm like doing all these different journeys. It's really just one journey, guys. But it's like, it's like I feel like I've been enlightened spiritually and just trying to kind of gain balance, I really was born in the wrong time. I should have, or the wrong galaxy. But anyways, so just kind of gain balance. So I got a hold of these financial principles. And so I just started like hustling and grinding, which means that I got multiple jobs. How do I get multiple streams of income? And also planting to see, thinking long term. And a lot of the multiple jobs I had, they're very labor intensive. They're like cleaning or delivering pizza, delivering food, things like that. So it was just very taxing on my body. And I had started this Beachbody program that I really didn't like. That's a whole nother story. And I just fell off. So for the last 4 or 5 months, I haven't exercised, which that changes today. That change starts today. But it was like my body is just like, was so tired. Like I was so fatigued. So I saw this new product from Dr. Berg's and I thought I'd give it a try. It said supports healthy mitochondria and aids in improving energy levels. I'm like, I didn't really see a difference, but I know sometimes you have to give it a while for the supplements to get in your system. So, but for me, it's like a 2 or 3. I think I bought one more last time. I don't think I'm going to be purchasing this again, actually, but I'm going to finish it out. So let's moving on up. So we're moving on to the good stuff. So I told you guys I didn't like this electrolyte powder. I really did. I think it's the flavor, but I love this one. This raspberry and lemon natural flavor. I just love it. I feel like, again, if you used to work out, like have those really heavy workouts and you would drink Powerade or Gatorade, this is kind of like the keto friendly version of that. I just love it. I think I did a video too. If you need some electrolytes, just a little, like maybe a tablespoon or something of pickle juice is a really good, cost efficient, affordable way to get some electrolytes in your system. But that's, this is a good one. We're moving on to the stars. Now he doesn't sell this anymore. But this was my number one, like go-to. Like, I don't know how many bottles I had of this. The trace minerals, like I just love everything about it. And it helped to me. It felt like my face, my skin, because I told you that's sort of what started my journey. It's like I had these outbreaks on my face, which again was a manifestation of just the unhealthiness. But this it just felt my face, my skin felt so hydrated. He doesn't sell this anymore. He sells another product, which I'll show you guys later. But this was like this would have been my number one. So coming into these two, I kind of tie. So this one, I really had no reason to order this because I felt like my nutrition levels were good. But I don't know if I posted that video yet. I had like this really stressful period. I had this really, really stressful period in August. And I think I chronicled it or the video. I don't know. I got so many videos or just me, rambles of me. And I think you all saw some of my videos because I was a landlord for a bit. And that was one of my side hustles. But anyway, let's move on. I'll go into that. But it was so stressful. And there's a reason why it was so stressful, because when you are a landlord, and that I see this argument or this concern with the whole, don't pay rent or put a moratorium on rent. On the flip side, not really a flip side, I can just understand all the perspectives. One, we're in a pandemic, so people need a place to live and they don't need to be stressed out about that. I also see you don't really know the financial state of the landlords. If they have loans out, they got to pay their mortgage or their loans, and they still have to pay insurance on the place in case someone gets injured or if there's a fire. So those are the conversations I don't hear happening. And I think they tried in that first stimulus bill to address it, but it's just like if the tenants don't pay and then the landlords don't pay, then there are going to be issues for the municipalities or the local state and governments, because if the landlords just sort of walk away from the buildings, then who's responsible, who's accountable? So it's a lot of, anyways, so that's kind of what I was going through, and just kind of waking up from my spiritual slumber, guys. I realized how much consumer debt I was in. So subtract from the homes or the real estate, but how much consumer debt, student loan debt. It's like I woke up from like this 15-year, 17-year spiritual stupor, and I was literally getting overwhelmed. And so I was like, this will be a good, let me try this, because this is adrenal and cortisol support, aids in stress reduction, natural calming effect, promotes relaxation. So this is how I was able to do, I think I did lift 4, and I had started another Beachbody workout. This is how I had the energy to do that. For whatever reason, it's like intellectually I was stressed out, but I started taking this, and like my stomach, my gut didn't, that's where my stress sort of starts. And I was still doing my workouts, even if I worked out at 11 o'clock at night. You all saw some of those videos. I was able to do it. This stuff really works. And so after I was able to sell my house, and I will get into that later, I started to utilize other relaxation and meditation techniques, but this was really work. So this is, if you're dealing with a stressful moment and you just kind of needed time to get your body together and to help regulate some things, this adrenal and cortisol support is like, this is good. Okay. And so I'm going to read this. I don't know if I am, but I found this article about sea vegetables. So what I realized is, as I've gotten older, or just where I was, my periods or my menstruation was just kind of all over the place. And I know there's so many benefits to sea kelp, but the reason why I'm taking it is it helps regulate my reproductive cycle. And I had like really heavy periods. It was just really painful. And I started doing research, and a friend of mine said she takes Irish moss, or she takes sea moss, and she makes some sort of drink or something. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I started doing research about sea vegetables. And then I saw this supplement on Dr. Berg's. And for me, this has been a godsend for my menstrual cycle. It's regulated. Before, I used to have like 7 days. It used to be very heavy, very hurt. But now 5 days, like clockwork. And around when I'm PMSing, that week building up to my period, I do my raspberry leaf tea. And so I really don't even know sometimes my period is coming. This stuff right here is just, it's just wonderful. Now there's a whole lot of other, I'm missing one, guys. Hold on. I'm missing another one. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I had to go and get this one. This is literally like so the reason why I ran, because it's sea kelp, it has like a bunch, or sea vegetables, they have like vitamin A, K. It helps with your iodine if you're like deficient in that. You don't want to take too much of it, but it also has vitamin D. And you've heard the conversation about vitamin D and zinc and stuff for the COVID-19 in different studies. I think there haven't been any conclusive studies, but within African American and maybe some other brown people or Black and brown people, we're normally deficient in vitamin D because of our skin, and probably some other things. But this has that in there too. Now, what was like the up and comer this winter, I deal with seasonal, I haven't been like officially diagnosed with seasonal mood disorder, but I have melancholy, or there's just times where I can get really, really down. And I think all of us sometimes in the winter when it's dark and it's gloomy, that didn't help with me keeping up with my exercise regimen. excuses, because everything's a mindset, but I'm just being honest with you guys. But what did, like, literally this and the sea kelp, the D3 and the K2, this is life right here. Like, this really is life. And I know his little blurb talks about cardiovascular system. And again, with everything that's going on, I guess I can see why maybe people can try to, they want to study to see if there's any impacts for like this COVID-19 or coronavirus. But I don't take, I should have told you guys, I don't take the, like where it says, take 4 capsules a day. I just take one of these. One, because this is a lot of money. And even though I want to invest in my health, I still am focused on preparing a nutritious meal or meals throughout the day. So I only take one of these. I don't take the prescribed take 1 to 4 capsules I just take one. But this right here, they also talk about like think about hormonal balance, at least know with women, D3, K2, and magnesium. I think you want to just, everything's about being in balance, guys. That's what I'm figuring out, Yoda had it right. So yeah, this is like, whoo. So I also got the wheatgrass superfood raw juice powder. So I used to add this to my Shakeology shakes, and that's a whole nother thing. I don't use those anymore, but I did. Now my son and I, we make green smoothies on our own, and we add this into it. And to me, it helps with your number 2, being able to flow. Not like we had any issues, but it's just my son, this is what things we talk about, but it does help us with, using the restroom and not having any issues with that. So this is definitely going to be a staple. So I hope that helps you guys. I think, I ordered these 2 products because my son is he's doing a Beachbody program. He's doing P90X3 because the gym is closed, because he was trying to bulk up. And so we had to kind of figure out, and we sort of take walks, and he hangs out with his girlfriend. But this is for him. He hasn't started it yet. So I think we're going to crack this open soon. So after he works out, he can have like, kind of like a nice, replenisher for his electrolytes. This is something I was so interested in. It's like enhanced trace minerals. So after I finish one of those bottles, I'll start this, because I don't want to do so much at once, because I really love this one. So there's another supplement you don't see up here, because I think I've recycled the bottle, but it was the hair, skin, and nails. That's what started it all for me because of my issues with my skin. So now I kind of think I have that under control. I kind of want to try that again. I didn't really feel like it had that much of an impact on my skin, but I did see the impact in my nails, and I wasn't paying attention to my hair because I was in my wig and my crochet braids and half wigs, and just, that's a whole nother story. I was in that period. So I am on a new hair journey as well. I'm on this one journey, right? And so I'm definitely trying to make sure as I get older that, I have a good hair regimen, topically, as well as my nutrition. So I am curious. I'm like, do I want to add that to my budget and give that a try? I'm not sure, because I think the collagen, I like how that's at least working for my skin. But anyways, I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, I'll do a part 2 on any other supplements I try or any other issues. These products they're not like you go to the dollar store when I showed you and it costs $1 or $3 at the Dollar General. It's not like going to Walmart or to a local store. They're like $30 and up. They are expensive, but I always tell people you're either going to figure out where you are financially or where you are in your life, figure that stuff out and work things into your budget if it's something you want to try or invest in. And but if you can't do that, try to stick to as close as you can to nutrition and fewer processed items, And I'll get into like how to start keto during the pandemic and you got laid off or something like that. If you're really interested, I'll get into that because there's just ways. And I think because I used to be poor and from a lower income, just growing up, there's just ways to cut corners. Now I understand with that knowledge on top of it, there's ways to cut corners and still be within whatever nutrition you want. Understanding that you may not be able to get grass fed or organic, or you may not be able to get, the finest cuts of a meat or something like that. But how do I still take a formula, something that I want to do and make it work? And that goes into when I talk about the spiritual coma and being in a mindset, in the mind shift is that when you say, I talked to this young lady, I'm going to go off on a tangent for a bit. You all know I do tangents. And it'll probably be on my other channel about the full in-depth conversation I had with another lady for my part-time job for cleaning. She is a beautiful, gorgeous Black woman. She just works hard, just doing a thing, have her own car, her own house. She has these aspirations for like real estate. She's a wonderful mom and she's works. And we got to talking about just, choices and, maybe trying to make small changes. Because when I talk to people, I want to just listen. I'm just very curious about people and wanting to just know people, no judgment. But she's like, man, I want to change now. You guys know I'm training to be like a coach, like at my job, like a professional coach at my job. And I do the keto coaching too. So I said, do you want me to be your accountability partner or even your coach, or just an encourager. I love things like that. She's, oh yeah, that's great. Now, so after we worked out one shift, I said, let's go walking. So we went walking, which was great. To get some exercise in. And then we started talking about, nutrition. So I like to ask people, I don't want to be off-putting to people because I don't want anyone to think I'm judgmental because I've been there. I was there. I am there, whatever the case may be. But we started to talk about, what she likes and what her taste buds are and, what goals she has and things like that. And then I started to introduce like very small changes. So I always gauge people that I talk to wherever they are. I want to meet people where they are. So I realized I can't, tell her, hey, you only have one meal a day, alternate fasting, every other day you're eating. So I'm not doing that. But let's start really, really slow. Let's have 3 meals and let's have 2 snacks. I like that. And let's look at one of those things. And I think she said she drinks 2 or 3 sodas a day or something like that. So I'm a very transition person just in my life. So I said, well, maybe we'll take 3 sodas down to 2. And you know what? Immediately met with resistance. And so I think we talked about an hour and a half. And again, this is not to talk about this beautiful soul or this wonderful person. It's just to say, sometimes you have to know where people are, no judgment with that. And you realize that, that individual has to like come to their own epiphany, so to speak, or their own decision about things. And you can just be there whenever, if ever they're ready for help or assistance or just to provide resources or another way. As I always tell you guys, keto it's just been so beneficial to me. Even when I fell off my fitness, it's like I'm still in my brain, no more brain fog. Now it's to get this flabbiness. I'm older. I'm almost, pushing 40. So I got to get my exercise regimen together. But as far as nutrition wise, even when it was not so clean keto, it's just been such a blessing in my life. So now I realize I want to take it to you guys. Whatever works for you. All I ask of you guys is to do research and, figure out what works for your body, listen to your body, take a good assessment of where you are and in different areas of your life or one area, just focus on one thing so you don't overwhelm yourself, but you can do it. And that's what I told her. So I did give her this one thing I couldn't let go, guys. So she's, heavier. I think, maybe pushing, 300 pounds. And I got her to walk. I'm like, yay! And, but her shoes were just like, they weren't even structured properly. So I've been like obsessed with these, podiatry, or almost like Dr. Pimple Popper, but these, Dr. Nail Nipper, I don't know, these podiatrists, you all, the feet people. I've just been so interested, and I kind of feel like my feet can be, if I didn't catch things, like I could have those bunions. Anyways, but it really triggered me, and I was just like, listen, she's like working, she like works 7 days a week, different shift, different jobs. Like, you all think she hustles. And I said, in order for you to be able to do all these things, you have to have proper footwear. You have to make sure your arch is supported, whatever type of arch you have, your ankle and your feet. I said, your shoes. And she had a pridefulness about it. Like, I'm so proud that I haven't changed shoes in 3 years or something. And when I was telling her, well, you got to invest in your feet, like, maybe $70. She's like, $70? And so it's just how, again, mind shift, how we look at things. In my mind, I'm thinking, I go to the store, everything is kind of like price gouge now. That's a corona, people making their money, but they shouldn't have to do all that. But if you drink 2 or 3 20-ounce sodas a day, in my mind, I'm doing that calculation. Instead to invest in your feet, that's your asset. They just called us human capital the other day. So your assets and be able to mobile. And then I got real. I said, listen, you see, she saw the mama bear come out of me, because y'all don't see me as like how I talk to my son now that he's older too. I give him real truth. I said, you have how many pounds she had on your feet. So I gave her not ultimatum, but accountability to get new shoes by the end of June. And the reason why I didn't do it in May or the next day, you got to meet people where they are. I'm giving her enough time to process that, to figure out how she wants to pay for it. But so I'll keep you guys like up to date with like how that goes. But I realized too, there's different coaching styles, and my normal coaching style isn't a challenger. That's kind of one of the archetypes that you can be, kind of challenging. That's not natural to me. But what I'm learning is to stretch. Sometimes, depending on where the individual is, you can push them. You can give them tough love, or be the bad cop, sort of, I shouldn't use it, but tough love. And I just wish us well, and all of you guys. So sorry for ramblings. Do not know, as always, as I say, if this will make it in. It's because it's quite long, but I'm just rooting for you guys. I'm rooting for myself. In this day and age, we can't be mindless zombies or sheep. We have to pay attention to what we can control and just work on that. And my heart goes out to anyone that's lost a loved one because of this pandemic, or just in general. 2020, I will say, has been, wow. It's just been a year, guys. But just love each other. Even though you may not be able to meet people in person, get into virtual chats, Zoom, Google Teams, or whatever the case may be. You're loved, you're cared about. And invest in you. A lot of times people are being very overwhelmed right now. And I think if we all had some sort of meditation and we can see the bigger picture, that we are the lucky ones. We're still here. And I know the case, you may be homeless, you may have lost your job, and you just may not know how things are going to work out. It will work out. It truly will work out. I just believe that. Okay, Mindshifters, see you later. And thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, bye.